And now the shipping forecast, issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 0015 on Wednesday, the 22nd of April. The general synopsis at 1800. High Norwegian Sea, 1036, expected just north of Fair Isle, 1033, by 1800 Wednesday. New low expected eastern France, 1013, by same time. The area forecasts for the next 24 hours. Viking North Utsira. Variable 3 or less, becoming northerly 3 or 4. Fog patches in north. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor in north. South Utsira. Variable 3 or less. Fair. Good. South 40s. Easterly 4 or 5. Fair. Good. North 40s. Cromarty. Variable mainly easterly 3 or 4. Fair. Good. Fourth, easterly 3 or 4, occasionally 5 in south. Fair. Good. Tyne Dogger. East 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair. Good. Fisher. Variable 3 or 4. Fair. Good. German Bight, Humber. East or northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair. Good. Thames, Dover, White, Portland. Northeast 5 or 6. Fair. Good. Plymouth. Northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair. Good. Biscay. Cyclonic 4 or 5, becoming variable 3 at times. Showers. Good. Trafalgar. Northerly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in east. Showers. Good. Fitzroy. Cyclonic in east, otherwise northerly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in southeast. Showers. Good. Seoul. North or northeast 4 or 5, mainly fair. Good. Lundy. Northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in east. Fair. Good. Fastnet. Northeast 4 or 5, fair. Good. Irish Sea. East or northeast 5 or 6, fair. Good. Shannon. North 3 or 4, fair. Good. Rockall. Northeast 4 or 5, fair. Good. Malin. East 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair. Good. Hebrides. East or southeast 4 or 5. Fair. Good. Bailey. Variable 3 or 4. Fair. Good. Fair Isle. Southeasterly 4 or 5, but variable 3 or less in northeast. Fog patches in northeast. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor in northeast. Faroes. Southeast 3 or 4. Fair. Good. Southeast Iceland. Variable 3 or 4. Fog patches in northwest. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor in northwest. And now the weather reports from coastal stations for 2300. Tyree Automatic. East by south. 3. 24 miles, 1026, rising more slowly. Stornoway. Southeast by south. 3. 35 miles, 1028, rising slowly. Lerwick. South by east. 1. Fog. 100 metres, 1033, rising more slowly. Wick Automatic. Southeast by east. 3. 24 miles, 1031, rising slowly. Aberdeen. South by west. 1. 13 miles, 1031, rising slowly. Lucas. East-northeast. 4. 14 miles, 1029, rising slowly. Boomer. Northeast 3, 9 miles, 1028, rising more slowly. Bridlington. Northeast 4, 1024, rising more slowly. Sandetti Light Vessel Automatic. Northeast 6, 11 miles, 1015, now falling. St Catherine's Point Automatic. Northeast 4, 1015, rising slowly. Jersey. Northeast 4, 7 miles, 1014, rising more slowly. Channel Light Vessel Automatic, north by east 5, 11 miles, 1016, rising more slowly. Milford Haven, east-northeast 3, 24 miles, 1018, rising more slowly. Aberporth, east-northeast 3, 19 miles, 1019, rising. Valley, northeast by east 4, 1021, rising more slowly. Liverpool Crosby, east by northeast 2, 19 miles, 1023, rising more slowly. Valentia, south by west 1, 14 miles, 1021, rising slowly. Ronaldsway, east-northeast 5, 22 miles, 1023, rising more slowly. Malin Head, east by south 6, 16 miles, 1025, rising slowly. Machrihanish Automatic, east by north 6, 13 miles, 1024, now falling. And now here's the weather forecast for the inshore waters of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, valid for the following 24 hours, issued by the Met Office at 2300 on Tuesday the 21st of April. The general situation: pressure will remain high to the north of the United Kingdom and low over much of Europe and the Mediterranean. However, with the high declining and the low over Europe filling, brisk gradients across much of the United Kingdom will ease and eventually become very flabby. Cape Wrath to Rattray Head, including Orkney. Easterly or southeasterly 3 or 4, occasionally 5 in north. Fair, good. Rattray Head to Berwick upon Tweed. Easterly 3 or 4, occasionally 5 at first in south. Fair, good. Berwick upon Tweed to Whitby. East 4 or 5, decreasing 3 at times later. Fair, good. Whitby to Gibraltar Point. East or northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair, good. Gibraltar Point to North Foreland. Northeasterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 until later. Fair, good. North Foreland to Selsey Bill. Northeasterly 5 or 6, occasionally 4 later. Fair, good. Selsey Bill to Lyme Regis. Northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 3 later. Fair, good. Lyme Regis to Land's End, including the Isles of Scilly. Northeast 4 or 5, becoming variable 3 or 4 later. Mainly fair, good. Land's End to St David's Head, including the Bristol Channel. Northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in Bristol Channel, decreasing 3 later. Fair, good. St David's Head to Great Orme Head, including St George's Channel. Easterly or northeasterly 3 to 5, occasionally 6 near Anglesey. Fair, good. Great Orme Head to the Mull of Galloway. East or northeast 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times. Fair, good. Isle of Man. Easterly or northeasterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in north. Fair, good. Loch Foyle to Carlingford Loch. Easterly or northeasterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first in southeast, decreasing 3 at times later. Fair, good. Mull of Galloway to Mull of Kintyre, including the Firth of Clyde and North Channel. Easterly or northeasterly 4 or 5, becoming variable 3 at times. Fair, good. Mull of Kintyre to Ardnamurchan Point. East or northeast 4 or 5, occasionally 6 at first. Fair, good. Ardnamurchan Point to Cape Wrath. East or southeast 3 or 4, occasionally 5 at first, becoming variable 3 or less later. Fair, good. Shetland Isles. Variable, mainly east or southeast 3 or less. Fog patches mainly in north and east. Moderate or good, occasionally very poor, mainly in north and east. And that completes the shipping bulletin.
Some stories are so resonant, I want to make them mine. A friend told me about the flooding of the Kielder Valley, how he and his small daughter, 40 years ago, made a musical farewell to the abandoned houses before they were submerged forever. Join me, David Armand, for a story about the reservoirs of music, dance and poetry that lie submerged within us all. In The Dam, at 4:30 on Sunday afternoon, here on BBC Radio 4.
We're coming to the end of our evening here on Radio 4. In a few moments, we'll hand over to our colleagues at the BBC World Service. We'll be back later this morning, just after 5:30. For those who, perhaps like me, are enamoured by the night sky, you should be able to look towards the northeast and see some shooting stars about now, as the Lyrid meteor shower is at its peak in the UK. So finally for tonight, the Lyrid meteors. East or northeast, veering southerly or southeasterly for a time. Showers. Very good. On behalf of all of us at Broadcasting House in London, this is Danielle Jalowiecka thanking you very much indeed for your company this evening and wishing you a happy and peaceful night. Good night.